Hello, everybody. We are back with another episode of The Fiber. I am joined by Rob Strano of Strano Golf.
My joke is it's always 70 degrees. It's not windy. It's not rainy. You don't need bug spray. You don't need sunscreen.
Now you have no excuses either.
It just erupted. It still gives me goosebumps.
Strano to the Fiber Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Garret O'Leary here with Live Oak Fiber, and we are back with another episode of The Fiber. And today, I am joined by Rob Strano of Strano Golf, actually one of our close neighbors, just across the street. Actually, not even across the street, just across the parking lot.
Can hit a wedge to your place, my place from here.
Maybe you can. I probably would miss. I would duff it or only hit it about 5 yards or hit one of the windows somewhere along the way.
Hit the receptionist out front, and she'll get mad at you.
I brought my putter, though. I have my... What did I do with it? I thought my putter was here.
Uh-oh.
I think it's over in that corner.
Somebody's out practicing with it as they saw it.
Usually if I'm on a call that I'm not super part of, I'll practice right in here and I'll hit into the corner to make sure at least I can aim straight.
There we go. I have a lot of clients that they've got their earbuds in and they're listening to whatever conference call, and they've got a club and they're swinging it and they're working on whatever we're talking about working on. So it's not just you. It goes on universally in the golf industry with the technology that people use now to sit in on meetings and stuff. They'll grab a golf club and be doing what they need to be doing. And
it's multitasking. I mean, again, you're still listening. You're just practicing something else, too.
Exactly.
But, Rob, thank you for coming in today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You've been an awesome partner so far. You're a business customer of ours as well. So it just felt natural. And I think half the office or half the golfers in this office have used you or talked to you at some point in time. I know you've worked with Nick Carmen, I think. I think he does it. One of our salespeople, Blake, I think he uses your facility and everything. Right. Nothing but positive things about your facility. If you guys haven't seen it, it is impressive to say the least.
Thank you.
So I want to give you the opportunity.
We had fun building it out. It was like, how cool can we go with the blank palette? And we did.
The funny thing is, I remember when I think you had to sign up either on the window when it first said golf, Strano Golf coming soon. I don't remember how long ago it was, but I remember putting a message into our Teams chat to the office. I'm like, I don't know how many of us are golfers here, but it seems like there's a golf store coming in right next to where Subway is. And we were all just like, oh my God, what is it? And I'm like, I don't know what Strano Golf is, but it was like, we were hoping it's probably a golf store. It's like, so all of us have to start working a little bit harder so we can make a little bit more money to buy our clubs or whatever was coming in. But then we found out what it was. I'm like, oh, that's sick. So I've been excited since, when did you start building that office out?
So we started building it out about a year ago right now. And our grand opening was May 2nd.
Okay.
So it took a little over 2 months to get all the pieces in place, get all the tech in place.
Yeah.
And once again, like I said, it was, where do we want to go with this? Because this is where golf is going. This is where instruction is going. It's all going indoors. It's all going high tech. Because we're getting away from, bad range balls and bad turf and giving the players a perfect lie, a perfect golf ball, perfect technology. There's no guessing with what we're doing, whether it's the Motion to Coach software, which is a golf swing analysis software that measures your body's dynamic movements and it measures it accurately to less than a millimeter. So when you swing, if we're measuring what your pelvis is doing or your shoulders or your chest or anything, it's accurate to less than a millimeter. So to look at this blank palette that I had with my building and go, okay, how do we want to lay it out? How do we want to make it move efficiently? But how do we want to make it where people go in and they're just like, whoa, wow. And it's where I go now every day, but I appreciate it when you say what you said, but also when the person comes in for the first time and you just see their eyes get big and they see the well putt putting platform, which is about 8 feet by 15 feet, and it tips and moves. So I can create double breakers. I can make right to left, big left to right, downhill, uphill. I can put a hump in the thing. All the short putts that players struggle with, we can recreate them on that platform. And then we have a big long putting mat that goes out to 40 feet, so we can work on speed there.
Yeah.
We have the practice bays for our members. You can join as a member and come in, every day out of the month, and you can play any famous golf course you want, or you can practice and get good data. And then, my coaching bay has everything I need to make players better. And it's been fun because we've made players better faster because I'm not dealing with the issues I have of being outside. It's windy and we're getting knocked around. They're smacking themselves because the bugs are biting, or it's hot and they're dripping sweat and we got to take a break, or it's cold and their muscles are tight and they can't swing.
Yeah.
My joke is it's always 70 degrees. It's not windy. It's not rainy. You don't need bug spray. You don't need sunscreen.
Now you have no excuses either.
Exactly. I took it all away.
Yeah, you can't just say, the wind was bad, so I'm bad.
Exactly. And you can't say, oh, gosh, was that the range ball? No, it wasn't the range ball. And that's one of the comments you get indoors is, Players will go, I hate hitting off mats because it's a false positive. I'll hit it fat and still goes. I said, well, not indoors it doesn't, because you've got this $15,000 launch monitor reading what's actually happening.
Yeah.
If you hit it fat, and our turf we've got is special turf. I hate to tell you how expensive it is, but people say, gosh, it feels like I'm walking on the ground. Yeah, I didn't cut a corner on the turf.
Yeah. We've
got very expensive high-end turf. It doesn't leave any green stuff on your clubs.
Yeah.
And if you hit it fat, the launch monitor will read it and go, oh, that went 40 yards. Yeah, exactly what would have happened off of turf. So you don't get faked out by anything. And like I said, players get better so much faster because everything I need is right at my fingertips there, whether it's me showing them their data or their motion to coach body movement data to show this is improving or this isn't better. They now can apply it more mentally quicker, and we're getting players better faster. And I laugh when, we see the data about golf scores not really going down, hovering about the same zone, handicaps hovering in the same zone. And I'm like, not if you're surveying my players, they're not. If you're in the hundreds, we're going to the 90s. If you're in the 90s, we're going to the 80s to the 70s. We're moving handicaps down, we're moving scores down.
So when you think back to, like, obviously your professional career and how you had to train, and then all of a sudden now you're modern day, you see what's available to a lot of players, even just to not necessarily professional players, but even just people that just want to have fun and improve their scores. Do you think that, like, there's something that's lost from, like, when you were training to play professionally to what's now? Like, do you feel like a little bit of the what made the game so difficult and unique has been lost a little bit because of some of the technology that's available at all?
Well, golf's still hard.
Yeah,
it's still a hard,
still very difficult. Yeah,
hard, difficult game, and you see it on tour every week. And you ask tour players, and the viewers may not know. I played 18 years on tour, PGA Tour, down through every mini tour level, and so I understand how hard it is. You talk to the tour players, we'll tell you it's a hard game. We just work at it so hard and so dedicated that we're able to refine it and make it manageable. You look at the golf data, and PGA Tour players with driver hit the ball in a 64-yard wide window. So they're either 32 yards left or 32 yards right of center. So imagine you're sitting on the 50-yard line looking at a football field, and then look at the 20s and go, they're hitting a driver in those windows. They're up in the press box.
Yeah.
They're hitting driver in that big a window. And that's, we understand how hard the game is. And I always tell my players, I certainly wouldn't want to be starting my professional career now trying to be a tour player, because it's so much more difficult.
Yeah.
Because there's so many more better players because they're now trained better.
Yeah.
We have all these tools that I didn't have. Our $15,000 launch monitor was a golf ball.
Yeah.
And we learned what to make the golf ball do. I was telling a player the other day, this player struggles to make the ball curve right to left. They're right-handed. And I said, I learned how to do it by necessity. And I grew up in St. Louis, and we have these big giant trees in St. Louis. And I still remember putting myself, I couldn't have been 11 or 12, behind this tree. It was a gumball tree, if you ever seen a gumball tree. So you have gumball trees in the Midwest. And I put myself behind this gumball tree, and I put down 5 balls, and I went, I've got to go right to left around it. I can still see myself doing it. I can still see the first ball hitting the tree. Second one got better. Third one got close. Fourth one went around the tree, and I went, got it. I understand how to do this now.
Yeah.
And I've never struggled with it again. So the things that we learned by playing the game, okay, are now more easily taught with what we teach players to do, how we do it, the training aids we've got.
Yeah.
The plane swing I have, which is a big giant circle that the beginners will swing on to keep things from getting real wonky and getting out of control. So if you're a beginner out there, we have this giant wheel we swing on, and you learn to move things correctly, and your body follows suit. And I'm big on form. I always say, if you hit a bad shot and somebody's watching from a fairway over, I want them to go, man, that was a good swing. You must have just mishit it. Not look at you and go, well, yeah, no wonder that shot did that. That's the worst golf swing I've ever seen. With what we've got, we're able to make players better because we narrow down what can go wrong. Whereas back when I grew up, it was, you played a lot. I probably didn't have 5 golf lessons growing up, but I was born under the luckiest star in golf where I grew up. In St. Louis, I grew up at a course called St. Clair. And I grew up with 1968 Masters champion Bob Goldie, Jay Haas, who holds the record for most cuts made on the PGA Tour. His brother Jerry, who's my contemporary, Jerry's a year older than me, was the best junior of my group coming through. I was the one of my age underneath him. And then Frank Connor, who played the tour. And so the 5 of us are all honorary members of the club. We all played the tour. I got to copy these guys. And I always contend, if you were to sit back from 100 yards and just watch Jerry and I stand and talk to each other, I think, and hit balls, you go, why do these guys look like clones? Because we all copy each other's mannerisms on tour, how we talk, how we move, how we walk. We call it the moves on tour. You can spot a player that's got the moves, got the look, and go, that person knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I just grew up copying those guys. Therefore, by that template, I was always going to be a good player.
Yeah.
And was blessed just to be able to do that.
I do want to talk about your professional career because you played in the tour. You've played in a couple other not leagues, I guess is the but
just
other
tours.
Yeah. What was that like? I mean, you go from probably amateur juniors to going into your first tour event. Is it nothing but nerve-wracking, or is it something that you feel like, okay, I'm actually really ready for this? I feel prepared because it is golf. I've been doing this every day, several times a day for years. Like, what is that feeling like?
It's all of that. Yes, there you go. Yes, okay. Next question for me. Okay, it's all of that. And when I first turned professional, by my own admission, I wasn't very good by the standards I needed to be. But I knew that 2 years prior I was, and I had a college coach that messed with my game a little bit, and I got worse. But I knew if I could recapture some of where I was going, my short game, because I grew up with a putting green in my backyard, my short game, my putting were going to carry me for as long as I decided to play. I just had to clear out the crud that was in my golf swing.
Yeah.
So I did that work, and within, 4 years, I played my first PGA Tour event.
Oh, wow.
And, to look at that,
and how old were you?
Body of work. My first PGA Tour event, I was 29.
Okay.
At that time. I hadn't turned 28, 29. It was my 29th year,
Okay.
28, still 28 at the time. And I look at all the different things that went into getting there. Yes, there's nerves in there, but you learn to appreciate them. It comes with the territory. You learn to like the challenge of going, I feel a little nervy. Okay, why? Oh, this is why. Okay, I'm playing really well. Well, there's no choice to go backwards. Yeah. So it's like the buffalo in the snowstorm. The buffalo turns into the snowstorm. They don't turn and run from it. They go into it. You've got to be willing to go into the storm and keep going, because when you come out the other side, it's like, well, that was nothing. And Jay told me one day, we were talking about, it was after I played my first PGA Tour event, and we were having lunch, and he said, in golf, you do things that you think are hard, and then you do them, and you go, well, what was so tough about that? And it's like shooting 66. First you shoot 69 or 68, and you go, I wonder what 67 tastes like, and 66 tastes like, and ooh, I like how that tastes. Give me a little more of that. Give me some 65s and 4s, and all of a sudden, all of that becomes fun, and you enjoy it, and you just get on the ride, and you ride it.
Keep chasing the next hardest
thing. Keep chasing it, and then the nerves get interesting because everybody superimposes their nerves on the tour player. We don't feel what you might feel.
Yeah.
Or one of the guys in the office here would feel if they had a putt for $10,000, $15,000.
Yeah.
Or to win in a tournament or whatever it is. Yes, we feel it, but we've learned to deal with it. We've learned how to control it, and we execute through it. And it just takes being there, and we've all gotten there and dumped it, and then gone, okay, that didn't work. We got to try something new. We try something new, and okay, that works. And that becomes kind of part of our little funnel of things we go to that just flows right into the success, stream of how do you do it and how does it go?
Yeah. It's interesting because I noticed that Live Oak sponsors the Club Car Championship. Or we've done it the last 2 years. This will be our 3rd year. And the last 2 years we were there, I was lucky enough to have a press pass, and I brought my camera and everything. So I was able to at least be on the green and take some photos and see these guys. And I don't know what it is. I grew up, watching football, playing soccer, not playing a lot of golf. And I always look at it, it's like when you win something, it's like scoring a touchdown, it's like scoring a goal. You celebrate like crazy, you jump up in the air, you're super excited. Well, there was some of that stuff, but I did notice, and I think it kind of plays to what you were just talking about, that these guys, one kid, I think he was 19 and won, I think it was the club car. It might have been the RSM Classic, which was a PGA. I think he got invited to or something like that. But he sinks his putt, and he just kind of looks up, smiles, gives his caddy a handshake, gives everybody else a handshake. Just like, been there, done that. And I think, to your point, that's exactly what it looked like. It's like these guys, they've controlled it. This is just, this is just hole number 18. We finished our 72. Like, yeah, it's exciting that I just won something. But to your point, they all seem so calm and collected that, they love this game. They just won. They did a great job. It's on to the next. And I think that was so impressive because, again, if it was me, I'd be losing my mind, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it to that point, yeah, it just seemed like everything he did was like, this was all part of the plan.
Yeah, and tour players, we live in a weird headspace because I always say we create our own reality. And it drove my dad crazy. We'd play and I'd shoot 68. And I go, man, if I got that one up and down, made that 10-footer and got that par 5. Yeah. That I missed, and those 3 shots I would have shot 65, and he'd go, if can't be happy with 68. Yeah. But what I was doing was I was going, I'm that close to 65. I'm those 3 things from 65. Yes, 68 was a very wonderful day of golf. Yeah. But I'm that close to 65. So in my brain, I actually shot 65 that day because I could go back and just let me do those 3 things again. Yeah. I'm gonna do them right and go from there. And like you said about those moments, I had a great conversation with Brad Faxon and Bob Rotella on the putting green at the Players Championship one year. And we were talking about all kinds of putting and mental game stuff. And if you could have recorded the 45 minutes we stood there and sold it, you would have made millions from what we talked about. And Dr. Rotella and I agreed on the same premise, is that a 10-footer is a 10-footer is a 10-footer, because we're talking putting. And I said to him, the only difference is the location. But the location doesn't matter because a 10-footer is a 10-footer. And they kind of shifted and went, we agree with you. So it doesn't matter if I'm on the 18th green at Augusta at the Masters or at the U.S. Open or at the event you guys sponsor. If I've got a 10-footer to win, well, I've made these 10-footers my whole life. It's another 10-footer. Let's just walk up and do that, which I've told myself numerous times when I've had a putter shot I've had to pull off. I've gone, look, you've done this a million times. Go right through your system, go right through your routine, and just do it again for the 1,000,001th time. Yeah. And 99% of the time, everything goes swimmingly. There's that occasional golf is hard. Yeah. 0.5% of the time it doesn't, and you see it on TV also. And you saw it this weekend at the API with Daniel Berger completely in control. You saw it in Puerto Rico yesterday. A young man that I coached in college that won the national championship, and I coached him early in his career, finished second, Chandler Blanchet, and I sent him a note last night. I was so proud of him. He looked like he had fun. He played bogey-free. He gave himself a chance to win his first tour event, did nothing wrong. It was wonderful to watch him do that. Yeah. And just to be able to reach out to him and go, well done, sir. Nicely done. He's won at every level, but he's just, he and I talked about doing what you intend to do. Yeah. So in putting, you have what we call the 3 intents, I-N-T, E-N-T-S. I intend to hit it on this line at this speed with this stroke. And that's all you can do. So you just lock it in. There it is. Then I look up and see what's going on. I can't do anything about a rolling golf ball in the green. There might have been somebody who leaned on their putter in my line and there's a dent there I can't see. Or, someone, was walking through my line and hit heel hard and there's a dent I can't see. It is what it is. I just deal with it from there.
You control what you control.
Exactly. Yeah. You control all the controllables. And one of my favorite movies, if you haven't seen it yet, is a movie called The Art of Racing in the Rain. Go watch it.
I'll have to.
It's a dog movie. Have a box of Kleenex right there. The movie's told from the perspective of the dog. I believe Kevin Costner is the voice of the dog. At least it sounds like Costner.
Yeah, I feel like I actually kind of know what you're talking about. Maybe I have seen it then.
So it's about a guy who is the best race car driver in the world in the rain. And he picks up this golden retriever puppy from a box of puppies on the way home, and they become inseparable. Yeah. But he's got this line in the movie, and it goes like this. If a driver can learn to control the conditions, then the rain is simply the rain. I've twisted that for golf. I've said the same thing about golf, and I tell everybody this, that are my competitive players. I say, if a player can learn to control the conditions, then the grass is the grass, the wind is the wind, the green is the green, and the rain is simply the rain. I grew up loving to play in the rain.
Yeah.
You give me a rainy day, you're going to put some money on things, I'm going to put 100 on Strano. It's raining. I learned to control the rain. The rain didn't control me. I learned how to stay dry. I learned how to use the water. The water's going to skip. Ball's going to skip. The ball's going to slow down with the water. I learned how to control that. The wind. We learned how to control balls in the wind. Tiger said it best. He said, I loved a windy day, which I love a windy day. He said, you find out who's faking it. Mm-hmm. Anybody can play on a calm day. On a windy day, you got to hit it solid, and you got to be able to control it, and you got to be able to use it. Mm-hmm. And that's the fun part of the game, is learning that stuff.
It's fun. There was something you told me when I came in for my initial evaluation, and I think the first thing I said, when I first walked in, you're like, "What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish with your game?" And I said, "I want to be more consistent." And I think about it often. I told my dad it a number of times too. I was like, "I want to tell you one thing real quick that'll solve a lot of your problems." Is like, don't think like that. I'll tell you what, because the professionals all say the same thing. They want to be more consistent. And it plays back to what you said, like they're hitting in a 60-yard window. Now, all things considered, that's a relatively large, space to shoot into. Narrow for them probably, but large for us. And then you said professionals try to do the same thing. You're not going to necessarily get that consistency because they're trying to do the same thing. And if you think you're better than Scotty Scheffler, Rory, or any of those guys, then you should be up there with them, but you're not. So like try not to go for consistency. What you're trying to do is just be able to play your game and know that when you're walking up to the ball, you know what you're going to do. And I think about that a lot, and especially when I go and practice or when I go and play. It's like, I know I'm not going to hit the fairway every time, but neither do the professionals. They do it more often than me. But, if I hit it the one or two times, that I'm kind of going for, I think that helps me calm down a little bit, especially when I'm playing with friends or my dad or my brother and like that. But it helps me understand, like, I don't play every single day. I maybe play once a month or twice a month. So it's like, if I hit that fairway twice, I've reached that goal for that little, that small step until I get better and better. But I liked when you said that because it really put a little bit in perspective. I'm like, yeah, I overthink it a lot, especially for knowing my skill level. But I really liked how you explained that whole thing. I wish I had it recorded, but yeah, I like the way you said it.
Well, it's a real simple concept. I say it in every assessment because everybody gives the consistent. I want to be more consistent. What do you want to do? I want to get more consistent with golf, and I say, forget it. It's impossible. Yeah. McIlroy just said, it's so hard to be consistent day in, day out.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody, I don't want you to be consistent. Let that detox your brain. You're like, you mean I don't have to be consistent? Oh, okay, great, yes. What I want you to be is I want you to be repeatable, okay? Mm-hmm. What I want you to be is repeatable, meaning that you know why things happen.
Yeah.
If you hit it to the left, you go, I know why that happened. It went over there, okay? Oh, it went to the right. I know why it went to the right. It goes straight. I know why it went straight.
Yeah.
I'm able to be repeatable and go, I know why it does that. Mm-hmm. Therefore, it's like touching a hot stove. Ow, I don't do that. Close your hand on the card, or ow, I don't do that. Well, if you know why it goes left, okay, then you're not going to close your hand on the card or do that. You know why it goes right, and then you're able to solve it on your own.
Yeah.
That's the key to that whole thing is I want you to be able to go, I know why it does this. Mm-hmm. And that detoxes your brain and goes, oh, I don't have to do this every time because we can't.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of golf is it's truly the sport you can play till you can't play anymore.
Yeah.
You can't play football that way or baseball that way or tennis that way, okay? So therefore, everybody thinks, well, I should be able to do it like this all the time, and you just can't, especially if you've got a career that's not golf.
Yeah.
We do it all day, every day, 24/7, rain, shine, hot, cold, bugs, doesn't matter. We're out there unless the course is closed.
Yeah.
Or the weather's too extreme.
Yeah.
So we've got a chance to touch that consistency word.
Yeah.
But the chances of doing it over a long stretch get more difficult, and the greats are able to maintain a level like Scheffler's doing now that it's just so much fun to watch when they've got the screws all tightened down and they're just operating, under a very tight constraint of what the golf ball's doing and what their mind is controlling also. And I always joke with you guys that you have way more confidence than Tiger and Nicklaus and Watson and Scheffler and Spieth and all these great players. Because in a lesson, you'll hit a ball, hit it, hit the next ball, hit the next ball, with no preparation between balls, no practice swings, no what am I supposed to be doing? I'm like, that is impressive confidence that you just think, okay, that last one went too far to the right. That's what I'm always doing.
Let me just
Rob wants me to do this. Let me bring that ball back and do it. No. I keep going, how about maybe a practice swing going, okay, we don't want the club coming back so much in. We want it coming back straighter. How about we take a practice swing and find where that is? Or if you're yanking it from the top and your timing's off, how about we learn to time the hit late and get the feel for that? Because I contend there's only two real secrets to golf.
Write this down.
Anything else is clickbait. So if you're going, this is the secret of golf. Oh, click. What is the secret of golf? Okay. And it's something other than these two things. It's not the secret to golf.
Yeah.
The secrets to golf when it comes to hitting a golf ball, real simple. Number one thing, timing the hit. Bang. It's got to be right there. It's not back here. It's not over there. It's not at the top of the backswing. It's right there. Bang. Timing the hit. And then lining up the hit correctly at impact. If you can time it and have the correct lineup at impact for a wedge, a 7-iron, a 4-iron, your hybrid, your driver, your chances of flying the golf ball and it being better are incrementally larger.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got my NASA shirt on today, and talk about flying stuff.
Yeah.
NASA flies stuff really far. But have you ever thought on planet Earth, not up where NASA's throwing stuff, we can fly airplanes with an engine. But take away engines, okay? And if you're going to fly something, what are some things you can fly? Well, we can throw a frisbee. I can throw a football. I can hit a golf ball with a tennis racket. I can hit a tennis ball. I can hit a baseball. But the thing you can fly the farthest without an engine is a golf ball. So that's what makes golf so cool, to think you can hit three football fields in the air, and it goes where you're looking. That's what makes it cool. And when you do that and you look up against the beautiful blue sky and it's coming down on a beautiful golf hole, that's where you go, oh man, that was really good. And I tell you guys all the time, when you get done, don't look at your scorecard right away. Rewind in your head and go, what were my favorite moments? Do your ESPN top 10 list of what were my best moments of the day. Get to that first, and then go, okay, scorecard, yeah, that's what I shot. But then do what I did. Like I said, if I could do this, this, and this over, boy, then it would have been that score. That would have been better. And then you call me, and you come to me with your list, and you go, I can't chip it on the green to save my life. It takes me 2 chips. We fix your chipping. You're hitting it, slicing it to the right of Mr. Jones's pool every day on number 12. We fix that slice, and we start bringing that score down.
Yeah. I think that to your point again, it's there's so much to golf that makes it, every part of golf is difficult, no matter what you're doing. I think we played just this past weekend, and I didn't shoot amazingly, but I didn't shoot bad. I shot in the 90s, upper 90s. I think I was like a 98 or something like that. But it's one of those things where it's like you're talking about earlier. You shot a 68, and you could have got a 65. And I think for me and for a lot of people that, again, play.
I've got a worse story than that one, I'll tell you, but go ahead.
But like for those of us that play once or twice a month, or are starting to get into it a little bit more, they have that competitive spirit where like, man, I shot a 98 or I shot 68. I should have done better. And it's like when you think about it, like enjoy your time. That's going to be the most important thing. You have to be able to enjoy that little win you just got. And then you can look critically at it. And that's what my dad always tells me too. He's like, you shot pretty good, all things considered. Again, last week you shot 106, so now you're at 98. Like, you won already. Just continue to figure out what you're doing right, and then work on the small things. But that's where I find that fun is like, again, people always talk about the drive, which is important, but I think most of your games played within 100 yards. Well, unless you're me, then you're in the woods playing from 200 yards each time. But you're playing from 100 yards, and that's where the fun starts. But I think for competitive people, you just look at it and you're like, dang, I could have done so much better. You're like, well, let's take the wins while we can.
Exactly. But the story I was going to tell you was, I have a course record at a course, and the course record will never be broken. It is an incredibly hard golf course, and I shot 63 one day.
Jeez.
And it was the course record by 3 or 4 shots, and it will never be broken. And the reason it won't be broken is the back nine's carved through the Ozark forest. So it's fairway and forest.
Yeah.
It's not, there's no rough.
Yeah.
It's the fairways are carved through. So if you miss the fairway, like on an edge, like from microphone to microphone,
Yeah.
it's going to kick into the rocks.
You're just done.
And if you can hit it, it's a pitch out sideways. Normally you can't hit it. And I just had one of those days. But I birdied the first 5. 6 was a hard hole, par 6. 7 was the easiest hole in the front 9, par 5. Hit it over the green, did not get it up and down. Par 8, birdie 9. So I turned in 30. Hit a 4-iron to keep count. There's the one shot I gave away on 7.
Yeah.
10, I hit a 4-iron to 5 feet, miss it. Proceed to birdie 12, 13, 14. Bogey 15, eagle 16, bogey 17, and lip out a 10-footer on 18. 5 shots. Now, was this round recently? No, this was 1998, and I'm still bitter about it because it should have been a 58. It was that easily close to being 58.
Yeah. Day ruined, right?
I mean, no, not ruined. Not ruined. We had a little money game going, and the guys we played with were all the good players in the area at the time, and not a bunch of wealthy guys. And I took too much money off them. So afterwards, I bought everybody food and everything, and basically gave them their money back because I mean it was a complete butt whooping that day, but it was a great round of golf. I can remember every shot of it. And I can also remember those 5. I'm going, that could have been so much better.
Yeah.
But once again, that goes to what you were asking earlier about how with golf. I just remember that day warming up, and I'd just come off a tour. I was home for a few weeks and taking a break, and I started to play okay.
Yeah.
And I remember warming up that morning. It just felt terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't feel good over the ball, and I went, well, what if I take my hands, just move them back a little more centered? They feel like they're over here. Bring them back a little more centered, and I put them in the center of my stance a little more, right in front of my body, and the ball went straight and just boom. And I went, that was interesting. Next one, boom. And that was the key that day. I made a little setup adjustment.
Yeah.
And probably neutralized it without looking at video and pictures.
Yeah.
I just neutralized my setup a little more and took away maybe an extreme shaft lean situation. And it was a really fun round of golf.
When you make those small adjustments to your game, whether it's in an actual tournament or you're just out there having fun, do you think that's more for your average player? Do you think that's more beneficial, or does it hurt your game a little bit more? Because especially as someone that's still getting better, when you make those changes, not knowing actually how they affect your swing or your stance or your balance and things like that, do you think it's like actually avoid doing that type of stuff until you can actually have an opportunity to really analyze what you're doing? Is that like maybe something you recommend, or do you say, do what feels right?
That's a commonplace occurrence every week at the academy. Is I get players that come and say, I tried this. I've been trying this. I've tried all this. I've watched every video I can watch, read every book I can watch. AI is the big discussion right now globally. But also, will AI take over golf instruction? Can it give you the way to improve your golf game? And the answer is no, it cannot. Because you've got to know human body dynamics. You got to know movement patterns. You got to know the movement pattern of the player in front of you. You've got to know what their limitations are, their strengths are, and it's their golf swing. And you have to also know what's going on up here as the wheels are turning to hit a golf ball. And you have to be able to take all those moving parts and condense it down into a matrix of what do they need to do to get better. Not just reach into the grab bag and go, okay, I'm going to try this. And it works for 2 shots or one day and the next day doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's able to take all that I just mentioned and put it into a formula that says, this player needs to work on A, B, C, D, right there. Now here's where the trick comes in. A may not be the first thing they've got to work on.
Yeah.
They may need to work on C. Then A makes C better, D makes A and C better, and B makes the other 3 better. And that's the order of operation you have to do it in.
Yeah.
And it's an art form and a trick, and you have to have a really strong golf background, a good mental process. I have the ability to kind of look at players in 3D and spin them around in my head.
Yeah.
Stand them on my head, look at them from underneath all around and go, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I've learned from them. the screening of what injuries they've had, why they move the way they do, and this is the progression we put them on, and that's why all my players get better.
Yeah, kind of the fun thing about you is that when you had your professional career and then you had a show on the Golf Channel, was that kind of your first jump into actually sort of coaching and teaching golf, or was it you actually taught people first and then it was the opportunity arose for the TV show?
Actually, whenever you're a tour player, you're automatically a golf coach.
Okay.
Everybody wants your opinion. The running joke between my wife and I is I've given more golf lessons in formal attire with a butter knife on how to grip a golf club or how to set it coming back. And then, we all do that as tour players.
Yeah.
It's like, here, pick up that fork. Okay, no.
Hold it like this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here we are at this formal event and someone's picking your brain. But you're always on that. But that by proxy goes with all great players because all great players are students of the game.
Yeah.
And I tell my juniors, I'm like, look, you have to be aware, number one, but you have to be aware of watching these other kids. Like you watch another kid take a practice swing hitting a chip shot, you ought to be looking at him going, that's not going to work. If he does that, he's going to hit it over the green, or he's going to come up short. Or that putting stroke, if he takes that, he's going to knock it 30 feet by the hole.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be 12 feet short. So to go to the question, we're always observant, so we always have knowledge to share. But the progression of mine was when I got done playing, and I was getting hurt at the end of my career, and I looked around and I went, wait a second, I'm now the old guy I was looking at when I was the young guy.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way, but I was like, oh man, this might be time to move on. And the next logical step was, well, do I want to take my knowledge of golf and share that with people to help them improve and have more fun with golf, number one, and improve, number two, and, is that the next step for me? And I muddled about with that thought and then immediately opened my golf academy here locally. And then was approached by Golf Channel. Golf Channel was doing an instructor search basically for the top coaches in the country because your other coaches were sunsetting late in their career. And they went, okay, who are the next voices in golf? Golf Channel credit was Golf Channel Academy. And we had about, at the peak, about 70 of us that were the top coaches, all over the country in different areas. Yeah. And it was a way for them to differentiate and help everybody else go, okay, who do you need to go to? Don't you go for a lesson? Because right now, it's the Wild West. Anybody that shoots 80 can say, I'm a golf instructor, come see me for lessons, and here's what you're going to pay me. Yeah. And we battle this malpractice right now in the industry because there's so much of it, whether it's they're posting videos, parroting what we're saying, trying to give themselves credibility by watching us and then repeating it, or by just not having the credentials to do it in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. And with Golf Channel, I had lots of fun doing that. I was on the Golf Channel platforms about 100 different times. One of my instruction tips is in the top 100 all time on Golf Channel. It's number 80. I actually filmed it at the Eiffel Tower in Paris with the Eiffel Tower in the background. I contend to this date, it is a world record for the largest golf training aid ever used. I used the Eiffel Tower. But it ended up being number 80. They had like 30,000 clips, instruction tips that they vetted. Yeah. And they called me and said, I just want to let you know you've been selected for one of the top 100. And it was very, very cool, and it was a great honor. And had lots of fun on air on Morning Drive with Michael Breed and Damon Hack and Lauren Thompson. I always enjoy running into LT. She's such a sweetheart. And my producers, everybody was so great. And because of that, then the Golf Kingdom TV show sprang out. Yeah. And we did 6 seasons. The TV studio was actually here locally in Pensacola. They're all on YouTube now. So if you want to go type in the Golf Kingdom, you can watch all 85 episodes on YouTube. And we had a blast doing it.
I'll put a link somewhere somewhere over here. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, but we had a blast. My crew was basically the crew of The Big Bang Theory. Yeah. They knew all the pop culture. They knew all that stuff. And on Golf Channel, I was known as the pop culture coach because I would use those references, movie lines, anything to get you to remember how to do something. And so the TV show would begin with a parody. Yeah. We'd parody something to open the show. We did Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark in one. We did Batman climbing up the side of a building, if you remember the old 60s TV show. Just so many little movie things and TV things that we did. There was a Cheers episode where Fraser Crane, the psychiatrist, they were all talking about how nice he was, and he wanted to be a bad boy. So he picked up a pair of scissors and was running around the bar going, I'm running with scissors. Does a good boy run with scissors? So we did an intro where I ran with scissors. And my daughter was on the show because she was an actress for a while, and we did an episode of Ralphie from Christmas Story where they put the soap in his mouth, and she got to put soap in my mouth because I knocked over my golf bag and I said, "Oh fudge," like Ralphie did, and she was the producer and cut and soap and the whole 9 yards. So we had a ball doing it, and everybody that watched it from all my Golf Channel fans just really enjoyed what we did, and my producers at Golf Channel all sent me notes saying, you look like you're having so much fun doing this. It was great. It was a blast to do it.
Yeah. And now you get to do it just more personally.
Yes.
As one-on-one sessions. So tell me, as we sort of get towards the end, what is it that you specialize in at the Strano Golf Academy?
We specialize, like we've said, in making players better. Number one, if you're playing better, you have more fun. We did a little clip with Live Oak about the academy, and one of the things with the Live Oak partnership that I love is the quality I get from you guys, whether it's service or the product. Our Motion to Coach software is, like I said, the most high-tech golf swing analysis software on the planet. The data we get is incredible. The graphs, the charts, the numbers. And I take a video, and when it's done, it is sent to a central server that comes back to me. Well, the central server is not across the street. The central server is in Germany. So Live Oak sends this thing via fiber optic to Germany. It's back in 15 seconds. Every day.
Speed of light.
Boom. Boom. So you guys are awesome in helping what we do, but it's all about taking players that are struggling with their game, no matter what aspect it is, putting, chipping, full swing, trouble shots, slopes. We can create slopes inside. We can do everything. But players come to me, we interview them, we figure out what's their pain point in their game, and we go about fixing it and eliminating it. Like I said, if you're out there and you can't chip the ball on the green and you can't chip it close, that's the easiest thing to fix.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more frustrating in golf than traveling 440 yards in 2 shots. And you've got 5 yards to the green, 30 feet to the hole, and it takes you 6 to get in the hole from there. I mean, that would instantly make me go, in my area, who's the best person I can go to see this and fix this?
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend any more money on playing this expensive course or a new piece of equipment or buy a training aid. I'm going to go see an expert on short game and get this fixed and get better. And that's the benefit of having a former tour player as a coach. Because I grew up with a putting green in my backyard. I chipped and putted all day. Loved doing it.
Yeah.
I played golf at the highest level, so I can help you mentally deal with stress because I had to deal with it. I had to succeed. I had to fail. I've won. I've lost. I've hit every trouble shot in the world. I always say, our home course is right across the street here. I couldn't hand you a golf ball and you walk across the street and put it somewhere. I don't know where to do.
Yeah. You
could hang in a tree. You go, what are you going to do from there? And I go, that's really funny. I'm going to take an unplayable lie, and you go, oh, yeah. That's what you do. Yeah. You can't put it somewhere.
Yeah.
So no matter what it is out there that you're trying to get better at, we can help you get better at it.
That's awesome. 2 more questions for you.
Yeah, fire.
1, what was your favorite moment from your professional? It can be from your professional career. It could be during once you started coaching or even more recently. What has been your most favorite golf memory?
I'll give you 2. Okay,
two for one.
One as a player, one as a coach.
Okay.
And it's something we haven't talked about from coaching. So as a player, my first PGA Tour event was the Kemper Open in D.C. It was Tiger's event for a while.
Yeah.
And we played the TPC Avenel, and the 9th hole played downhill. So you played from an elevated tee. Downhill was a narrow green, water on the right, bunkers on the left, and it set in an amphitheater. I'm getting goosebumps telling the story. And it was my 9th hole of the first round, and it was now golf to me. Mm-hmm. I had first tee jitters, but I hit a good tee shot in the fairway, and I actually hit a 6-iron over the spectator mounts. I didn't quite get to the corner because it was wet, and I kind of necked it out there, so it didn't quite get to where I could see the flag. I could see part of the green. But I had to go over to spectator mound number 1. There were 2 guys standing on top of the mound. I could still see him, and my caddy and I looked at him, and he goes, go over the guy on the left's head. I go, I agree. I mean, it didn't clear him by more than 10 feet, but I hit it right over his head to 10 feet and missed it. But I get up on 9. It's just golf at that point.
Yeah.
And I had a good number. I loved hitting a little choke down 8-iron was one of my favorite shots. I had a little choke down 8-iron. And the way, and I have a picture of it in my indoor studio of that hole, of what it looked like that day. And I always said it looked like you were hitting into a box of crayons with all the different colored shirts in the amphitheater on the hillside. Just a box of crayons and a green and a lake. And I hit it, and it never left the flag. And one of the most cool sounds on tour is the sound of a crowd when the ball's going to be close and they know it. Mm-hmm. So they're all down there. You can see it coming down, and you can start to hear the rumbling in the crowd. Just the murmurs. They're all kind of going, oh, yeah, oh, wow, look at this. They're all talking, and it hits. Like if this is the hole, it hits right here, bounces and stops at your elbow.
Okay.
And it just erupted. It still gives me goosebumps.
Is there video of it? Can we?
There is no video.
Of it.
No
I'll
video.
say I'll link to it or something so we can watch the replay or something.
No, that's back before you had that coverage. And then the other great memory I've got is one thing most people don't know is a part of my coaching is I taught deaf kids how to play golf in sign language.
Oh, cool.
And I did it at PGA Tour and LPGA Tour events where there was a deaf school close by. Mm-hmm. Now everybody's going, oh, you had a deaf uncle or an aunt or a friend that was deaf and you knew how to sign. No, I did not. I did not know a deaf person. I had no contact with the deaf community. Nothing. Mm-hmm. Zero. One day, just God put it on my heart and in this little calm voice, learn sign language. And I was like, what? Learn sign language? And the blocks fell in place. I run into the local sign language teacher in church, who I don't even know she's the sign language teacher. And we have an interpreter. And I go, who's the interpreter in church? I didn't know we had somebody interpreting for the deaf. And I'm asking the sign language teacher. And she goes, well, I teach sign language. I didn't know either of these two people in the moment. I went, okay, God, I got it. So for 20 years, I taught thousands of deaf kids how to play golf in sign language. And then they got to, we did it at a PGA Tour, LPGA Tour site. Mm-hmm. They got to go in a corporate box, have lunch, meet players that I still knew, get autographs. Mm-hmm. But I did 20 years at the Players Championship over in Jacksonville. Yeah. And one of the first years we did it opposite the event to where we could get on 17 after the event. Mm-hmm. And there was a little kid named Jordan Shea, he was a golf kid. Mm-hmm. He had golf glove, clubs, everything. Yeah. And the kids got to take a shot at the island green from the drop area.
Oh, okay.
And so, after the tournament, you have all the corporate people playing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And we did the event, taught the kids how to play, had lunch, blah, blah, blah. They got to go out to the drop area to try to hit the green. And we had groups coming through, but they'd all been briefed by the host that day. Hey, we've got this going on with these kids. You may run into them on 17, just to make you aware. Yeah. So we've got a gap when we get there. It's perfect. And we get the kids hitting balls. And they're all excited. They're missing the green left, right, rolling it in the water. They don't care. Yeah. I just think it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, you hitting on that's the arguably one of the most famous holes in golf.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so a group comes up on 16, and we got a couple kids, including Jordan, to go. Mm-hmm. And so they come up to the tee, and I walk back, introduce myself, and I told the two volunteers from the school, from the Florida School for the Deaf, take over. They've seen what we're doing. Yeah. Walk over, introduce myself, tell them what we're doing. We only got a couple of kids left. They said, Rob, do whatever you got to do. Mm-hmm. We're fine. And so Jordan's the last one to hit. Mm-hmm. No one's hit the green. No one's come within hailing distance of the green. Jordan gets up there. I've got video of this. Gets up there, takes a practice swing, and he's all of this tall. He's 11. Yeah. Okay. Takes a practice swing, wipes his hands on his shorts like this. Okay. Grips it, swings, and hits it up on the green like 10 feet from the hole.
Oh, wow.
Now, these guys that have doing this corporate thing, there's thousands of dollars invested in their being there. They are cheering and yelling. We're cheering and yelling. Yeah. Okay? So we get done. They hit up on the green. We go up on the green, and we get a picture of Jordan, standing by his ball. He's closer than all these guys. Mm-hmm. The cool memory is, as he's walking off the green, these guys are walking on, and they're all high-fiving him. Yeah. Every one of them so excited for that little boy. Yeah. And watching that shot. So cool. So very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is he? Is he still playing golf?
Yeah. Yeah. Jordan, let's see, that would have been 2003. So what does that make Jordan now? It's 13 years later.
Yeah.
So he's mid-20s now. Wow.
Is that 23? No. 20 years later? Jeez.
2003. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's public math. Sorry, viewers. That's 23
He's
years
30,
ago.
30 something
He's
now?
in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Wow.
That's awesome.
That's a long time ago.
It doesn't feel that long ago. It really doesn't.
No.
I still think, I was born in 96, so I still think back to like, oh yeah, like 2016 was only, it's 10 years ago. I still think like, because I graduated college in 2018, I think like, oh, it's only been a few years. Like it's coming up on a decade now.
Yeah. Well, I reference golf books that I've got in my library, and I go, there's a couple books like Ben Hogan's book from the 50s and this book from the 40s. I'm going, we're coming up on the 40s and 50s again. We're circling right back around to those old moldy books. Holy smokes.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been.
It's been a little
Without
bit.
a doubt.
All right. Now, good luck following up that story. The last thing I wanted to ask is when people think about Rob Strano, what do you want them to know?
What do I want them to know? When we were talking about the Golf Kingdom TV show, I had a client one day that came to me because they saw the show. Mm-hmm. And after the lesson, they went, you know what? You're as fun in person as you are on the show. And that's I always thought about that. That was a testimony to real genuineness. Mm-hmm. It's just me.
Yeah.
I have a lot of players that come there nervous because they know my past playing history. Mm-hmm. They know my history with, St. Clair Country Club and tour players. And, they may know that I hold a tour record that'll never be broken on tour. The USGA had to rewrite the rules of golf because of me. I've got all kinds of weird little golf nuanced facts that go into a great career. But I think that moment when they said that helped me realize I'm doing a good job of being me.
Yeah.
And if you're comfortable with being around someone who's fun, that makes it fun and getting better at golf, then that's as good as I can ask it to be.
That's awesome. It's true, though. I mean, again, I've been looking forward to this podcast for quite some time. Every time I've worked with you, it's been a blast. Like, you truly do make golf fun. And I think it's a testament to, obviously, your personality. It's incredible. But also, too, you look at golf as like, listen, it's something fun to do. You hang out with your buddies. You compete with your friends. You win some money. You lose some money. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, you're having fun. And I think that's what I feel like I get from you about golf. Because sometimes, especially for a lot of players, like you look at golf, it's like, no, it's serious. Like I gotta be good. I gotta pay attention. I gotta focus.
There is that switch though. Remember, I'm a former tour player.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing is I'm a quarterback dad. My son was a quarterback.
Okay.
So I've got the football edge in me. So there is a switch that I do flip when working with a tour player or an elite player. That it gets a little bit, not a little bit. It gets a lot more serious at that point.
Yeah.
Because I know what that is to play for your living and your gallon of milk in the fridge. And there is a switch that I can flip that the fun will stop until we need to have fun again.
Absolutely. Well, Rob, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a blast. Thank you for the conversation. If you guys want to get in touch with Rob, take some lessons, what is the address exactly to your academy?
The address here, 4510 West Highway 20, Niceville, Florida.
Perfect.
Right between Subway and Winn-Dixie. And the website is stranogolf.com. And then I'm on, social media. Like I said, the Golf Kingdom's on YouTube, the TV show. And then I've got, Instagram, Facebook pages that I kind of wiggle around on. I'm not a huge social media guy. I put out there what needs to be put out there.
You're about action.
Yeah, I'm about making your golf game better.
Exactly. And, well, with that being said, we'll wrap it up with that. He's here to make your golf game better. Reach out to Rob. Just say hello. He's an awesome person. If you see him out in public, say hello. But thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a blast.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Thank you for tuning into The Fiber. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe. If you want to learn more about Live Oak Fiber, visit us at liveoakfiber.com.